That's what we do here.
Yeah, because we're gonna be freaking real with you right now.
But my dishwasher is always full. Like I don't get to that's another step. You have to unload the dishwasher, put everything away.
I am not a natural born cleaner. When I would walk in there, normally you can't see the floor. Hey guys, welcome to Coffee, Chaos, and Christ.
Grab your coffee, take a deep breath, and join us as we talk through the chaos of daily life and how Christ leads us through it all.
So whether you're in the car, doing the dishes, wherever you are, we're so glad you're here.
On today's episode, Jordan and I are jumping into cleaning.
Let's dive in. What type of coffee are you drinking this morning?
I am not drinking any coffee this morning. I have learned that, yeah, I know. It's a little too early still for me to drink coffee because I've learned that I have to eat something before I drink, or else my body gets like this. I like get a crashing feeling where I'm like, my body doesn't feel well. I feel like I'm like sick. And
Is that because you're getting older?
Probably. Yeah, because I could just drink coffee and chug it all the time. Anytime. But yeah, I guess the caffeine is hitting me weird and differently now. So I don't know. So it's happened to me a couple of times. And I'm like, oh no, it's fine. It's fine. And then I think I've kind of realized it's the coffee. So I'm not drinking coffee this morning because I haven't eaten anything yet. So anyway, unfortunately, what are you drinking this morning?
Drink. And then I have homemade coffee with whole beans that I did in my iced coffee maker thing. The latest bag was a Starbucks bag because Mom picked up the bag. So
Wait,
she probably just grabbed the first bag she saw.
I know. Did you grind the coffee beans?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tell them the fancy thing that you do with your coffee.
Oh man, guys, it's so bad. I'm
life-changing.
So high maintenance. So I just learned this one actually from Moments Coffee. Shout out to them.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Down in Swannanoa. They did iced coffee cubes. So when you have your iced coffee and it starts to melt, it doesn't water down. Guys, it's a freaking game changer. Can I just tell you? Yeah. Anywho, so yeah, I do a bunch of half and half, and I do.
We don't know how to pronounce it.
This is so embarrassing. Is it Laird?
Laird.
Laird. Laird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use some of that as my sweetener. Then I put a little bit of monk fruit in. And then some cinnamon. And I use that incredible frother. And I just froth it all up and put it on top of my iced coffee. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, Jordy only really likes iced coffee. She'd prefer iced coffee.
Yeah, I don't drink hot unless it's like...
Yeah, even in the wintertime. She rarely drinks it hot. So anyway.
And I found out it's easier on your stomach too, so...
Yeah. And so is the technically... I guess technically it's a cold brew.
Yeah, it's definitely a cold brew.
So, yeah, which is better for your stomach.
But yeah, so that's kind of my go-to right now. I only do hot if I'm like cold, bro. Yeah. Like it better be cold.
And the hot coffee better be good.
Yeah. Anywho's, okay. Well, what are you going to drink? After you eat.
I am going to drink whatever. I gotta go to a meeting after this. So whatever they're making at the meeting is what I'm having. But I am having Recess pastries. So shout out to Recess Coffee Shop.
Shut up.
Yeah, I'm so excited. They make all their pastries in-house.
Wow.
They're
Shout out to Recess.
Yeah. So.
Wow, Recess and Moments, guys. If you're ever in Asheville and you need two really great places to go outside of downtown Asheville, Moments and Recess.
Yeah, head over to Swannanoa and Black Mountain area.
We've got a lot of good coffee shops here.
We really do.
And they're pretty close to us too, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we are jumping into this topic of cleaning.
Why do you ask? I don't know.
We really haven't.
But, That's what we do here.
Yeah, because we're gonna be freaking real with you right now.
Yes.
I am not a natural born cleaner.
So you're not like
That people that are like really uptight in cleaning is actually because they have control issues because they have trauma in their life.
mm-hmm.
I heard that on some other podcast that it's one way for them to have control in their life because they can't control the rest of the trauma. And so they're like, well, if I can't control that, I know I can control this. So somehow being a little messier makes me feel maybe healthier.
that you have less trauma.
So the mess doesn't bother me as bad. However, though, dude, when you have kids, I know maybe when they're in high school. Will it change when? Please tell me it'll change in high school, right? Like my house will be cleaner for longer periods of time.
No, I highly doubt that.
Are you serious?
I feel like they in high school, like I don't know, they're just as bad because they just leave everything on the floor all the time or in the room. Maybe it will stay in the room, like the clothes everywhere or whatever.
Yeah.
But that was something
Because they have to do chores too.
Yeah,
like
that's
there's
true.
going to be a point
Yeah.
that my kids are getting really close to. You're tall enough to do this, or you're big enough to do this.
Yep. But I mean, I feel like I don't know. I never thought about it before we had kids. Never thought about the actual cleaning aspect, of just like how messy they really are and how constantly we have to clean.
Okay, so I did the dishes yesterday. And I was really proud of myself that I got it all done.
Yes.
And then I made dinner.
Yeah. Oh. Mm-hmm.
And like we have a pretty big sink at my parents' house. And with the cutting boards, the bowls we used, the silverware we used, the cups we used, and the pans I used, it filled the entire sink back up.
And this is why.
And I looked at it and I went, I had just done the dishes. And I went, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yes.
I just cooked dinner.
Dude, that irritates the snot out of me because I just had that same, not the same, but we're trying to eat in more too.
Yeah.
And I told Brad, I was like, and this is why I don't like eating at home because I just did the dishes and now my sink is full again with a ton of dishes. And it's like, I don't want to just do them again, but then I don't want them to sit there, Anyway. So, yeah, there's that dilemma that I'm going in back and forth all the time.
Well, and I had also I had gone off 2 days of being sick. So nobody did the dishes while I was sick. The dishes did not get done, which is why it took so long to get all the dishes done. And I'd just gotten better. I was like, okay, I had finally gotten better. And so I was like, okay, it's time to get the house picked up. And so I did the dishes. Then it was time for dinner. And so that's when that whole thing happened. Because normally when I do the dishes, I do them in the morning. It's like part of my morning routine is get the dishwasher filled and then I move on. So I'm never doing anything back to back to back, if that makes sense. Usually I'm doing the dishes, then we do school and then blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
Or vice versa. But yeah, this one was all back to back to back. I was like, I'm not doing this again. I'm at a point now where it's kind of like your role. And so it's like, yeah, I'm mom. Mom takes care of the dishes. And when I do it, I put my headphones in, either listen to a book or I do Pimsleur. Shout out to Pimsleur because I'm learning a new language.
Yeah.
And I just do that. And I'm like, this is great time for me to be able to focus because I'm also learning that I can't listen to a book or listen to anything without doing something. So it's a great time for me. It's a great alone time, I guess you could say.
I know, right? Your mom time, your alone mom time.
Yeah, to like listen to the next chapter in my book or whatever while I'm doing the dishes. So I don't, every time I do the dishes now, I don't grumble. It's like, no, this is part of my job. This is what I do.
Right. And it's part of routine.
And it's part of routine. Yeah, it's part of my routine for sure.
Yeah.
But and listen, you guys, I know there's a lot of people out there that we don't leave dishes in our sink. And I'm like, okay.
Tell us what you do then. Are you just constantly washing dishes all day long?
No, they put it in the dishwasher.
Oh, they don't even wash them before.
No, they rinse them and put them directly into the dishwasher.
Yeah, see, I have a problem because I would like to do that, but my dishwasher is always full. Like, I don't get to that's another step. You have to unload the dishwasher, put everything away. I don't know. So
I'm getting way better at keeping, that's a lie. I feel like I'm getting better at keeping the kitchen clean because that's where I spend a lot of time.
yeah.
I'm getting to a point where I'm getting so tired of all the kids' toys that I just want to start throwing them away.
Throw them away.
But the problem is it's my mom's house, and that's where everybody comes.
Yeah, I know.
To hang out. And so every toy, I look at every toy gets used. Guys.
But does it really actually get used, or is it like
Isaiah?
Oh, this is nice, and pick it up, look at it for 2 seconds, and put it down?
Isaiah plays with all the tractors. Harry plays with all the Legos.
Yeah. Well, those are good ones.
Taylor plays with all the coloring.
Yeah.
Jax and sometimes Gigi and Taylor play the dress-up clothes.
Mm.
Ozzy has all the basketballs.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of moving pieces.
But all of those are good toys to have.
Oh, yeah.
Not like...
And I've definitely come to a place in my life of it. For every dollar I spend on a toy, it's more TV that they're not watching.
Yeah, that's right.
Less TV that they're watching.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I don't have a problem with that. But the clutter though.
Yeah.
The stuff that just
builds up.
Yeah, I really struggle with that. Laundry.
Listen, we were talking about it earlier this week about laundry, and I was telling you, I was like, how do I have so much laundry? I do laundry every single day, multiple loads every single day. Like,
No,
I
you
feel
do
like
not.
yes, I feel like it's nonstop, and I can't wait till the end. Like, I can't wait till okay, I'm just going to do laundry on Thursdays. Maybe I can. I haven't tried it, but I feel like I can't wait, or else it just constantly builds up. I think we have maybe 6 laundry baskets at our house and they're all full and it's just constantly rotating. It's ridiculous. All I've done is laundry. All I have done is laundry the last 2 weeks. But I think my kids, they wear something for 2 seconds and then change and throw it in the laundry basket. So it's technically not really dirty, but I don't know that. And so I don't know.
Oh, that's true. No, when I go and clean my boys' room, which actually I switched that over this week.
Oh, to having them clean it?
Yeah, they
Yes.
can't have a boys' night unless a sleepover with their friends or their cousins, unless their room's clean. And I said, when you ask, I'm gonna go to your room.
Well, that's hilarious because I did the same thing this week too. I was like, okay, you have to make your bed. You have to make sure that all of your room is clean, which means all your clothes are picked up and all that. You have to change before you can come out and start your day. You have to get it, And I started that this week too. I don't know why. We're just on the same page.
And we didn't even talk about it.
We didn't even talk about it. And how did yours go with the boys?
Oh, okay. So obviously they're kids.
Yes.
So they shoved things in the closet.
Yes.
But at least nothing was when I would walk in there normally, you can see the floor now.
Mm.
Now there's things
That's
shoved.
because it's in the closet.
It's under their beds and it's, so we've got a ways to go, but,
Baby steps.
baby steps. Yeah. So, oh yeah, they made sure it's going better. I, bought something else on Amazon.
To help with the cleaning aspect?
I bought another shelf
Oh, yeah.
because our books are overflowing. I buy too many books. And so
Yep.
our books are overflowing. I was like, okay, we need a shelf for another set of books. We need a shelf so I can put toys onto a shelf because they're in bins. And I was like, so my goal is to get everything off the floor. I'm
Yep.
tired of bins. I think that's one.
Yes.
I'm tired of and not bins, more like baskets.
Yes.
I was definitely into the basket phase when it was all over Pinterest.
Yep.
And so I have a ton of baskets, and they're just on the floor, and I just don't like it anymore.
Yep.
So we're entering the shelf stage
Yep.
of get everything off the floor. So yeah, another thing that I have, here's a tip for you guys. I think this might be my only tip. Sorry guys, I'm not the cleanest
We're
person.
not. Yeah.
I'm learning with children.
Yep.
My tip is I take a laundry basket through the entire house and pick up everything that I see that does not belong. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's a piece of trash, if it's a pencil, if it's a piece of clothing, if it's a shoe, if it's a toy, if it's a little piece from a game, it all goes in the bin. After I pick everything up, what you should do is go put everything away. Now, I normally do it in a pinch. So I do that, and then I set it up on the stairs. And then I put it on the list for tomorrow of like, oh, I need to distribute everything back to where it goes. Instead of picking up one thing, putting it away, picking up one thing, putting it away. That has changed my life. Because if I need the house to be picked up before someone comes over,
Yes.
or if it's at the end of the day and I'm trying to do dinner, I can walk around the house really quickly, pick everything up, knowing that I can go put everything away later.
Yeah.
Also, I'm learning time.
Mm-hmm.
If you actually time how long it takes you to pick stuff up, it actually doesn't take you that long, which is what I don't understand that. I've timed myself. Like I started making myself little timers, and I would say, Alexa, put on a timer for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, for 10 minutes, I'm going to clean. And you actually get almost all of it done for whatever area you're working on. And you're like, wait, that didn't take that long. Because you're kind of like racing the clock a little bit.
I was like, is it because you're against the time and you're like, okay, I got to beat it.
I
got to get
I
it
can
done
do
in this
anything for 10 minutes. I can do anything for 15 minutes.
time. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so instead of, okay, I need to get the whole house clean right now, I go, this is the area that has the problem right now. Let's focus on the kitchen. Okay.
Yes.
Alexa, set a timer. No, I don't do the dishes during that time.
Yeah.
But the picking up, that's another tip, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say
Set
that
yourself,
would be a tip.
And I'm not saying, guys, do not set a 30-minute timer.
Yeah.
Do not set a 20-minute timer. I mean, that's even pushing it. You should not do anything more than 15 minutes because we all know as moms, we don't even have 15 minutes to give.
Right.
If we're being honest.
Right.
So I've been setting timers for like 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, okay, well, this is going to be this time before I start school with Harry or before, I have to go outside and do blah, 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 whatever. Or before I get to sit down and do my puzzle.
Yeah.
We got to do 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I can do 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I can do 10. And you get so much picked up so much quicker. And so I don't know if it's good or bad, but I leave things off now because I'm like, oh, I'm not going to clean that right now. I'll do it when I set my 10-minute timer.
And that probably does take stress off too.
Yeah.
Like you're not constantly like worried about, oh, that room has to get picked up. That room has to get picked up because you're like, well, actually, it will get picked up whenever you set, your 10-minute timer. Your 15-minute
because
timer.
I know it's only going to take 10 minutes.
Yeah. And you're like, okay, I already have that quote unquote scheduled.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you have to stress about it all day long of when am I going to pick up that room? When am I,
And when I do, I know I'm only going to do it for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's like you can either get it done right now. I
Yep.
can get it done later. I can go outside and go on a walk with the boys and then I'll come back and do it. It's this weird place of how do you keep your house clean? Because jumping around, guys, sorry, but there's the other side of it of you are calmer when you have a cleaner house.
Yeah.
Which it goes back to the trauma thing. I understand why people with trauma keep a clean house because it's a place of calm for them.
Yes.
And a place that they can control. So it's way easier. It's like because when the house is a wreck, I do not feel good.
Well,
because I know it has to get done.
Yeah, and especially because you're constantly sitting there. For me, I'm constantly sitting there, and I'm like, this has to we are stay-at-home moms, and so we are constantly at our house. we are constantly in our living room, our kitchen, or whatever. And so if it is messy around us constantly, for me, I'm like, it does stress me out because I'm like, this is where I am all day long. I want to be calm and relaxed, or as much as I can be, with kids running around. But it's like the mess just adds to that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but that mess can be quote unquote controlled, or somewhat, so it's like, so I think, when I see my dishes piled up, I also think, I'm like, if this continues to pile up, it's going to be harder or worse for me to clean up than if I kind of do it now or a little bit at a time, I don't know. That's kind of my mindset when I see things around the house too. Because I'm like, we stay at home all day long. It's like we are constantly in the mess. So how can we, how do we deal with the mess and chaos? Some people thrive in it. Some people don't care. Some people are just like, oh yeah, there's mess around me. I don't care. They don't ever think about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's just something I got to work on.
Well, it's funny because I get, you go, this is what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Mm-hmm, this is my job. Mm-hmm. But you're also raising humans, and you're also schooling humans for some of us.
Yes.
And then it's like, okay, where's the
balance? Where's the...
at what point when the boys say, hey, Mom, will you come outside with me? It's like, no, I'm doing the dishes.
Yes.
We got to get this done. There's that part of it. And it's like, where's the... Yeah. It's almost like being a stay-at-home mom. You feel like you're always failing. It does not matter. You feel like you're always failing.
Well, yeah, because you're right. Like, I stay at home, so I should be keeping my house clean, but then you're raising your kids and they're like, hey, let's go play. And I'm like, which one do I choose? But
because they actually want to play with you.
Yeah. Which is, and then it's like, yeah, but the dishes have to get done or the laundry has to get done, or can you push it off till the next day? But it's a constant.
And then it piles up again.
Yeah, and then it piles up, but they're always constantly asking, hey, play with me, come outside, look at this, what do you, and so.
Oh, and then we got to stop in the middle of it and make lunch.
Yeah, you got to make lunch, and then you got to make dinner, and then I know people are like, oh, why I do it. I know there's some people out there who are like, oh, I wait till they all are in bed and go to, to just do. And I'm like, bro, I'm chilling. Like, I'm at that point, I'm going to bed too. Like, I am not cleaning. I don't want to clean at the end of my day. I'm like, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
From making the lunch, from constantly attending to whatever, Maybe it gets better as they get older. I know that we were talking about that, but I don't, because they can help more.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, then you run into whining about it. Why am I doing this? You know?
Yeah. So.
Because I hated cleaning as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody wanted to. I didn't want to keep my room clean. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, that's definitely been something I struggle with too all the time. Of like, okay, my kids are like, let's go play. And then I'm like, well, okay, let's play. And then the house is a wreck, and I'm like, so I'm trying to be better about it's okay, I can leave it, or just telling the kids like, okay, then tomorrow or whatever, I'm going to have to get this done. So we can't play, or, you know what I mean? Or like, you guys are going to have to play on your own. But,
and I'm not even, well, I am going to bring it up. I'm like, this is me getting to a healthy place because I've been bitter about cleaning for a while because I'm like, I should be at an office. I should be wearing cute clothes. Where someone actually pays me to do the job.
Yeah.
That was like a huge bitter resentment place for me when I've become a stay-at-home mom was Nobody's going to thank me for this.
Yeah.
They're just going to say, where's my next meal?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to thank me for doing their laundry.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, it's hard because it's truly a thankless job. It's just expected of you.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know other people's statuses, but it's like on Mother's Day, you'll get a card.
Yeah. I know.
What did you do? I mean, maybe you have somebody special that takes you somewhere on Mother's Day, but still.
But yeah. Yeah, man, it's a hard 24 hours every day job.
But it's also that piece of being at home, being a stable place for your kids.
Yes.
This is what moms do.
Yeah, but it's such a blessing. Yeah, it's such a, I feel like it's more rewarding than, even though it's hard and it's harder, but it's more rewarding than that money that I'd be making.
Very true.
More rewarding than, oh, my boss just said, you did a great, like,
yeah.
It's like, it's more, I don't know. It's like, I say that very, very loosely because tomorrow I'm going to be like, why am I cooking them lunch? They're always constantly whining and, whatever. Actually, last week I had that, I just blew up on the kids. And Maddox, sweet Maddox, he's my oldest. He was really upset about it, like that. And Madeline, who's my second crazy child, she was over there and she was like, Mom, you need to apologize to us. Mom, you need to apologize. And so I blew up on them because they were not, like, I gave them food. They're like, I don't want this. This is not what I wanted. This is gross. I don't want to eat this. And so, like, and it's been this constant,
oh Lord,
yeah, like this constant, like, no respect for what I'm doing kind of thing, like going off of what we're talking about.
Yes.
And I just blew up on them. And I was like, I am over here loving y'all, constantly giving you what you need. You're always asking for, whatever food, whatever, and you guys have no respect and you guys are constantly whining and being upset. I was like, we can't you can't go through life like this anyway, And so anyway, so I blew up on the kids because I was just like, I lost it. I was like, I had my last straw of like, they're constantly just disrespecting and not caring about anything that we do at the house, anything that I do at the house, we as in moms. And I lost it. And Maddox he was like, I don't know if he actually kind of knew what like, as in felt guilty or felt bad that he was being, that's what I want to think as a 6-year-old, that's what he was thinking of, like, oh no, you're right, Mom. I'll being never disrespectful do it again. And I should always love what you cook. And, that's what I think that he was feeling. Madeline, on the other hand, is like, no, Mom, you need to apologize. You just got mad at us and you need to apologize. Anyway, so going back to the whole like cleaning and stuff aspect and what we do around the house, it's just like in getting that affirmation or getting that respect and stuff. It's like, it's hard. We don't get it. I mean, we might get it or we might see it sometimes with our kids or them saying thank you and please,
Yeah.
But it's not like when you're at a job.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
I'm even thinking like when we were rooming together before we had both had families.
Yeah.
I didn't care about cleaning.
No.
I didn't care about cleaning.
No, me neither. And I didn't know. I mean, I knew what cleaning was, like, because, like, you did the dishes, you had to do your laundry, and you, like, but, like.
I feel like it took up 5% of our time.
Yeah.
Instead of.
Every day. Like, I feel like I'm just now realizing what cleaning actually is. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to pick up constantly. Pick up toys, pick up this. Do 12 loads of laundry a day. Do a ton of dishes. I mean, I know we added more people.
Yeah, dude.
But
I was not prepared
No, not at all.
for that.
No. And then realizing, like, I don't.
It was
like
cute
to
when they
clean.
were a baby because they'd take their little naps and we'd go, oh, I'm going to do my stuff now.
Well, technically, I still do because Hudson still takes a nap. So that's when I'm
talking about like when you had your first one.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm playing. It's like you were playing Housewife when you had your first.
Yeah, yeah, and
And then
were
you had the second. Then you're like, oh no.
Yeah, and now you're like, oh no, yeah, it's
Just trying to keep up.
it is. It's just trying to keep up and surviving, and I don't know. I have no tips for y'all. I don't even know. Like I honestly, I feel like that's all I do all day long is clean. That's it.
You know how you'll just hear somebody say something and it just sticks
Yes.
for the rest of your life.
Yes.
There was this couple that I knew that got divorced, and his kids asked him, you know, why did you and mom get divorced? And he said to them, your mom loved the vacuum cleaner more than me.
Oh God. Oh God.
And I just remembered it for the rest of my life. I'm like, okay, there has to be a healthy balance.
Yes.
There has to be, and I'm sure, and like the guy was not perfect either.
Right.
He was definitely not perfect. So I'm sure it was the only thing that she went, well, I can keep the house clean.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have no clue about that relationship. I don't even know who was right and who was wrong.
Right,
Would it
right,
matter?
right.
No. But I think about it all the time. I'm like, okay, I don't want to be that wife.
Yeah.
And that's probably me being super judgy. But at the same time, I'm going, that's another thing. I don't want to clean to avoid my issues.
Right. Right.
I don't want to be the person with the perfect house who constantly has the perfect house, but has no love in her house. I
Yeah.
don't want that either.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, with all that venting said, we're going to find out what the Bible says
Yeah.
about this. What does the Lord say about our homes?
About our homes. And does he say that it needs to be spick and span and clean to the T?
Who came up with it? Cleanliness is closest to godliness.
Oh, I don't know.
Or is that like more of a physical thing of like if you kept your body clean?
Yeah, I feel like it depends of the context. You know what I mean? Like people could use it just as I don't know. But y'all, I don't know if there's anything. I don't know, Jordan, if there's anything really in here about that.
So you're saying we're off the hook? Is that what you're saying?
That your house can be super messy or super clean, and it doesn't even matter. The Lord loves you anyway.
When you get to heaven, he's not going to ask if your dishes are done.
Yeah. Or how do you do your dishes? Wrong. You need to do it this way.
So, guys, I'm really glad we're doing this today because I definitely needed this. Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men. So, even when we're upset about, I'm not in an office because nobody's paying me. Even when our kids are freaking ungrateful.
Yeah.
When spouses can be ungrateful and just don't even see what you're doing. We need to remember that everything we are doing in our house is not.
It's not for them.
It's not for them. And it shouldn't be for them.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm going to take it a step further. It's not for the people coming over to your house either.
No.
Which is, to be honest, that's when I clean.
Yeah, me
like,
too.
when I deep clean.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm like, when I want it to look like.
That's the only time I deep clean, actually.
I have my life together.
Yeah. Because you think what your house looks like on the inside means that this is what my life is like.
It's kind of like, to be honest, our house is an extension of our clothing. What do you think of me? I'm wearing this for you.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for my house so you'll say something about my house.
Yeah. And getting affirmation from other people when none of that matters. The only affirmation we should be striving to get, or what does the Lord say about us? He loves us. We're his children, no matter what, not because our house is clean.
Yeah.
Like, if we focus more on...
Yeah, when you go into someone's house and it's clean, how am I supposed to receive that? What does that tell me about you?
I mean, I guess.
What is it? Does that tell me that you're kind-hearted? Does that tell me you're gentle?
Yeah, what
does
it
tell me
about your character, about who you are as a person?
You could say that it makes me think you're disciplined.
Yeah. But nobody thinks that when you go into someone's house.
No.
You're not like,
oh, you're disciplined.
You automatically just think, wow, they clean and have their house cleaner than I do.
Yes.
Like, that's it.
They're doing better than I am.
They're doing better than I do in cleaning and keeping their house together. As in, they must have it put together and figured out because their house is cleaner than mine. So they know how to clean better than I do, or they spend their time better than I do.
But yet we all buy the bumper sticker or the magnet that goes on our refrigerator that says, "Sorry, y'all, you should have been here on Tuesday when it was clean."
Yeah.
We all laugh at that. Why?
Yeah.
Because it's so true.
Mm-hmm.
We all buy that magnet. Well, sorry about you. Clean. Some people are like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But we think those things are funny because it's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you go, there's like this rite of passage as a friend where they're like, my house isn't clean. And you're coming over and they're okay with you coming over and their house isn't clean.
I was like, especially when you come over to my house and you're like, Carolyn, thank God your house is messy. I know you're real. I'm like, oh God.
Misery loves company.
Yeah. No.
But it's funny because it's like, you feel like you've passed a barrier of this person wants me to see them as they are, not as their curated self.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that cleaning's bad.
No.
But
and it doesn't mean if your house is a mess that your life is a mess.
Yeah.
That's not what that means either. I mean, I think we put too much pressure on it of where it's got to be this way or it's got to be that way. Which then reflects who we are as people. Which that's not what we should be looking at.
Mm-mm.
And if we spend the amount of time that we think or stress about cleaning or making sure this room's picked up or, whatever, our dishes are done, our laundry's done. If we spend that stress and that amount of time on figuring out who we are, being with the Lord and changing us from I don't know, just changing us from the inside out. That's where our character comes in. Not, is my house clean? Not, what am I wearing? Not, that's where you see, and that's the real person.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the first time I've thought about it. Because we're in the throes and we're just constantly like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do at home. I'm supposed to clean. I'm supposed to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And not stepping back and thinking about that verse.
And I even stress about it when people aren't coming over to the house.
I know.
It's so funny. You can see a perfect picture of the enemy doesn't have to do a lot.
Yeah. Wow.
He literally just lets us focus on ourselves.
Yeah.
And
what other people think about us.
Because I mean, there's the other side of it though. There is truth. When your house is cleaner, it's calmer.
Yeah.
But so it's like, okay, that is true. How do you find calm in the middle of being a toddler mom?
Yeah. Yeah.
Being a mom in general, how do you find peace in that type of chaos? Because before, like you said, This was 5% of our life before we had a family.
Yeah.
And now it's like, what, 75, 85% of our lives?
90 consumes us.
Yeah. And it doesn't just consume our time. It actually consumes our thoughts.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, yeah, I'll do this. And then you move on.
Like it was when it was just you and I,
Yeah.
when we were roommates.
Yeah.
Man. Read that verse again.
Which one?
The Colossians one.
Whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men.
Yeah. So?
Because, I mean, technically, being a mom is work.
Yeah.
Doing all that stuff is work.
Yeah. And cleaning and doing, like, we have to do it. It is work. It is what you have to do. Like, just like, your husband's or whoever, your spouse is going out and making money. Mm-hmm. That is work. You have to do it. But where is our mindset when we are doing it? Are we doing it for him, for the Lord? And saying, thank you that I have this opportunity to do this for you while I'm working when it's hard? Or am I doing this to please Jordan, who walks through my door, to please all the people who come to my house for house church, for my husband? Am I doing this for Brad when he walks in the door? Am I doing this for my kids? Am I doing this even for myself, to make myself feel better? So...
Yeah, because it doesn't last.
No. Your house will be dirty the next day. You clean it and it doesn't last long. It lasts for maybe 10 minutes where it's clean. And you're like, yes, it's clean. Now my house is perfect and anybody could come over. And then you have people over. Guess what happens? It gets dirty again. You have to do the work again. You have to clean. Or your kids, go outside for 2 seconds, come inside and track mud all over the house. It doesn't last. But how am I going to clean and do this job and this work that the Lord has provided for me to be able to do? Because I do have kids. I do have friends. I do have a community that wants to come to my house. I do have that's all provided by the Lord, that when I'm doing these things, where is my mindset? Am I doing it joyfully like I should be?
Well, I don't even think it has to be done joyfully. I think there's a part of duty in a sense of this is where the Lord's placed me. And this is my job. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's joyful. Just being content of, this is where you have me.
Right.
And, we keep talking about the kids and, they're growing up so fast and the time is short. The time is short, and this season of life will not last forever. It will go back to 5%. I do believe that.
Yeah.
It'll go back to 5% of your life. And so it's like, okay.
Yeah.
So, Lord, how am I choosing to use this time?
Yeah.
Stressed, anxious, bitter? Or am I choosing to rest in knowing that this is the job that you have prepared for me today?
Yeah. Rest. I think that's huge. Peace. Just have peace with it.
Because it's a hard transition.
It is. And it's a job, and it's going to be hard. Like, it's supposed to be hard.
Yeah.
How do we react? We have to be peaceful in it, we have to rest. Because you're right. It goes by fast.
We won't be if that's one thing I can comfort you moms with.
Yeah.
This will not be forever.
Which is a big deal. Which is convicting.
Yeah, it's super convicting. It's funny, talking about why I do it when people come over.
Yeah.
I feel really convicted about that. Of like, why? What am I supposed to see when I see that person has a clean house?
Yeah. Or why? What do you want them to see from you for having a clean house? You know what I mean?
It's like you're trying to hide your imperfections.
Yeah.
Because if someone saw your laundry load.
Yeah.
But all moms have laundry loads somewhere.
Yeah.
So why do we think that? Why would it matter? It's funny, isn't that weird? Like when you finally see your best friend's house clean, you're like, oh, we're on the next level.
Yeah.
Or not clean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, messy. But you're right. Misery loves company. We all like to see, thank goodness that you're messy too. Because I'm messy, you know? Because we're not perfect.
No.
And so it's good to see other people's, I don't know. I know it sounds, I don't know if the wording's good, but other people's just imperfections because nobody's perfect.
And it's definitely, regardless of where your house is right now in that area,
Yeah.
it really is way more about mindset of like, okay,
Yeah.
who are you doing this for?
Or, yeah.
Who do you do this for? Do you do this for your kids? Do you do it for a husband? Do you do it for yourself? Do you do it for your friend coming over? Or are you doing this because this is what the Lord's called you to do? Are you doing this for the Lord?
Yeah.
I bet you could ask that about a lot of things in
I
our
was going to
lives.
say everything in your life because if you're not asking that about everything in your life, then that has to be an idol. Then you're putting that above God. And so just cleaning. I've never thought about that because, I mean, you think about all these other idols or whatever, and you're like, oh, yeah, money for sure. Everybody,
Yeah.
that's a big one. Or, whatever it may be. But cleaning, you would never think that would be. But if you're not asking that,
Well,
what am I doing? Why am I doing this? What am I doing this for?
I think
Who
it's
am I
the
doing
perfect
this
lens to ask. Are you doing this for the Lord? And you can put that lens on.
Yeah.
Are you doing this for the Lord, loving your husband? Are you doing this for the Lord, for your children?
Yeah.
Like, it's, we always go back to like this romanticized view of husband and wife.
Yeah.
But are you loving him because that's what the Lord's called you to do?
Yeah.
Or are you doing it because that's what I heard I was supposed to do?
Yeah.
So, well, this has been great.
Yeah, it was. Not where I expected this episode to be going.
No, I definitely am going to look at doing the dishes a little different. Because it's technically our mission. It's technically our battlefield.
Yeah.
Where's your battlefield?
Yeah.
Because if the Lord walked through your door, I really don't think he would care about the mess.
No.
I think he would care about where your heart was in that day.
Yeah.
Were you angry and bitter because you had to do another load?
Yeah.
Or were you sitting there being a faithful servant
Yeah.
with a smile
And just,
and saying, Lord, how can I serve you today?
yeah.
Isn't it funny? If the Lord showed up, it'd be different.
Yeah.
If he came in a physical body to your house, it'd be different.
Yeah.
That even reminds me of, Mary and Martha. Mary was sitting there. She was not cleaning.
Yeah.
She was very attentive to the Lord. And it's like, when the Lord shows up, because that could switch the whole thing of like, I'm going to have the whole house clean before Jesus gets there so then I can focus.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, where is your mindset right now?
Yeah.
Where's your mindset in your marriage? Where's your mindset in your finances, in your house? Is it on the Lord? Or is it on just these physical things that are going to disappear?
Yeah.
Like we said, this time is short in your life, but also this time with your kids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are the kids going to remember you sitting over the dishes being bitter? Or are they going to remember you just doing the job?
Well,
Anyways,
that's intense. Jordy, you want to pray us out?
yeah, I'll pray us out. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for waking us up, getting us into your word. Thank you for this time of fellowship. We know we always have places to improve. We thank you for opening our hearts and our eyes today to see that you are the only thing that matters. We can give all the tips and tricks and mindsets that we can about cleaning. But what really matters is, what does our heart look like towards you?
Yeah.
What does our heart look like when we're folding, when we're cleaning up, when we're changing diapers, when we're doing the dishes for the 18th time,
Yeah.
when we're cleaning up the sink again, when we're doing the toilet again, what is our heart? And which way is it pointing? We ask that you would help us take deep breaths this week as we go about our lives, and we serve you as we serve one another.
Yeah.
And it's in your name we pray.
Amen.
Amen. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.